Welcome back. So we are back out for another Hide Talks video. So we'll go ahead and call this one part 2. Had a pretty good response from you guys for that first one. In the first video, I did the SPR 2.0, my 16-inch kind of concept SPR gun, just looking over some different loads and seeing how they done at 110, just a couple of different loads that I hadn't shot through it, and just kind of talked through a few things with you guys, shot a few groups, and then we kind of looked at the results at the end of the video. Just super informal, nothing really reviewed, but just kind of bringing you guys along for basically just one of my range sessions. So had a really good response and feedback from you guys saying that you really like that type of stuff, so I figured I'd do it again. This time it's going to be with our Ruger American Ranch in 5.56, and if you remember back, this one is in the MDT Gen 2 LSS XL chassis. So this is the one that does take the AR-15 mag, so that's kind of cool. I'm to kind of go over, my thought process here, why I wanted to bring this one back out, is I'm still on the fence about the folding buttstock adapter on this rifle. I mean, it is cool, don't misunderstand me. It's really neat being able to take and tuck that away. You can fit it into a smaller bag, especially if you take the suppressor off the front, and it makes it a lot more toteable. However, whenever you're shooting the rifle, you get a significant amount of wobble. So if you're on the bench or at a static location, barricade shooting, which I've done some, we might do a little bit of that in this video too, at 150 maybe, and see what it does. But you have to account for that wobble that you're getting with that adapter. So that's something I've been trying to come to terms with, if it's something I really want to leave on. Am I getting really any added benefit from it? So just going to shoot a couple of loads that I haven't really shot in this thing yet. Some of the 55 grain polytip Fiocchi, and some of this is 77 grain Sierra Match King hand loads that I've got used for a few different guns here at the Hide. Figure I put 5 of those through it, just kind of see how it did. Then I got just some basic 55 grain FMJ hand loads just to plink around with in the video and just kind of see what happens. But let's try. I'm going to shoot 5 of these hand loads and just kind of see what they do. Now, I'm not going to do any shot cams or anything like that. Again, this is just informal kind of talk and shoot. So, but we will review everything at the end of the video. So as you can see, whenever I'm on the gun, I have to be very mindful of how my hand sets on the grip and how my collarbone and my kind of like my breast pad here, or whatever you want to call it, my shooting pocket, interfaces with the back of the stock, because it pushes up on that adapter, and you get, I bet you there's probably at least a 3/16, if not an 1/8 inch of flex in between those two pieces. And I'm here to tell you, if you're shooting distance and you're wanting small groups, that really isn't the most ideal situation. Now, if you remember back, I kind of built this rifle as kind of a mini PRS style rifle. So it definitely fits that bill. I've used it quite a bit back here just for dinking around on barricade work and things like that. And being in 5.56, I mean, you can shoot this thing all day. It won't break the bank to speak of, and it's not going to kill your shoulder. So, but let's try these 5 shots and see if I can maintain a group with them and see what happens here. All right. So again, like I said, it's different getting used to that wiggle. Now I do have my Element Optics 2:16 HD here. Serving duty, which it's still doing just fine. Glass super clear, no failures at all to hold 0. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I love how this thing shoots. It is so much fun. Now I've got some black targets that I'm shooting at down there at 110. trying to get them used up, so I really can't even see our group either. But once we get done with the video, I'm going to walk down there and I'll get it, and we'll kind of see how we did. But I tell you, I absolutely love the interface of this gun. It's an extremely usable gun. If you're looking for something to kind of maybe get into some tactical, I use that word very loosely because I am the least tactical by definition that you will find. However, it does kind of fit that moniker a little bit. However, maybe PRS might be a better word, style of bolt action rifle. But maybe you're just looking for something entry level to kind of get you going, to see if it's something that you might like. I tell you, you could do a lot worse than some sort of similar setup than this, just to kind of, especially if the range that you have to practice on. Now, I'm not going to say you're going to win any matches with this, don't misunderstand me. You could. I mean, I'll be honest, the Ruger American Ranch, especially in the 5.56 version, I've had 2 of these and they shoot absolutely lights out. But most guys at distance are going to shoot, you know, Creedmoor or something to that effect. So, whoops. So would 5.56 be the ideal caliber? I don't know. It is most definitely one of my favorites. Over the last probably about year and a half, I've really come to terms with the calibers that I keep on hand, you know, for actual use. Now, of course, I'm going to review a number of different things just to kind of give you guys more data as far as if it's something that that you might like. But for me, honestly, 223 and 308, that's really the only thing that I keep on hand anymore for my own personal guns. So like, this is one that I built for me. I'm definitely not going to get rid of it. It shoots like an absolute dream. Probably the longest distance that I have where I'm at is about 500 yards. And like I mentioned in the SPR 2.0 video, that kind of concept is what really drove me to a lot of my caliber choices. So a little bit of caliber philosophy for us here while we're shooting this rifle. But let's try some of this 55 grain Fiocchi. Like I said, I'm breaking my cheek well, but it is so nice to shoot this thing. There is literally no recoil at all. It is an absolute pussycat shoot. But I mean, I will be honest, the folding stock adapter, it's most definitely not something that you would see on a real PRS rifle. That was just kind of one of those last minute, hey, that might be kind of cool, let's throw it on there and just see what happens with it. But I got a feeling I'm going to end up taking it off. I think I might have pulled that last one. Yep, one more. And believe it or not, go ahead and fire this one off here. The trigger that these Ruger American Ranch rifles, now I know that they have like a 2.0 version of the Ruger American, so I have not fired any of those yet. But believe it or not, the factory triggers that the original ones come with really aren't that bad. They're really not. They shoot and perform very, very well. I think I'm just going to shoot some of this 55 grain FMJ. We'll pop a group with that just to kind of give us a control group. But man, if you're looking for just a all-around bolt action rig, something that you can honestly train with this if you set it up, you know, accordingly to how you're wanting it to perform. Or if you're just wanting something just to dink around with on the range, maybe at your farm or something like that, serve double duty for coyote control or varmint control, I tell you, the 5.56 Ruger American Ranch is probably, it may not be my favorite bolt action rifle, but it's probably number 2 of what I actually own. So very impressive. And it won't break the bank. That's the best part. So let's try 5 of these. See if they'll even post a group at all. But this thing is definitely 10 out of 10 on the fun factor. Yeah, I have this trigger breaking at actually a little under 3 pounds. So, I mean, it's very nice. I think we got one more in the mag here. Yep. All right, last one. All right. Not too bad, from what I can tell anyway. I'm gonna throw a couple more of these in the magazine and just kind of play around with the steel there at 110. I got a piece of 1-inch flat stock hanging up, kind of simulate a MOA shot. I'll see if I can ding one of those real quick with only 5 rounds in the mag, and then we'll kind of mosey ourselves down to the barricade and maybe take some shots off that. Some little bit of active shooting. See what my holdover looks like here. Little left. We got it. One more. Just grazed it. There we go. Got any more left? Ah, one more. Let's try that. There we go. Dead on it. And I tell you, it makes that thing zing. Go ahead and adjust my windage just a pinch for that load. All right. One more. All right, good deal. So, I'm going to reposition the camera. We'll get some active shots over on the barricade, run down, grab our target, kind of see how those loads did, and we'll get some final thoughts for the day. All right, so we got us a mag loaded up here. We're at about 150-ish yards. I'm going to take some shots on steel, just kind of show you some of the features of this chassis setup, which I do like. So if you notice in the front here, it does have kind of a, I guess a rough finish, a textured finish to really grip onto a barricade surface. So that's pretty nice if you are a barricade shooter. So let's see what we can do here. Nice. A little low. There we go. There we go. Nice. Like money now. Got the little swinger on the steel down there. There we go. Yeah, pulled that one left. A little high. There we go. Back on it. There we go. 2 in a row. Nice. 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 Oh, we out, and we are out. All right, so I tell you, I mean, you can just rack these things all day long. Throw yourself a good scope on it. The only downside that I have found to this setup was whenever I first originally put it together, I thought it was going to be a lot lighter than what it turned out being. Now, granted, barricade work, static work, things like that, prone, that added weight definitely helps with kind of stabilizing the rifle and being able to get, you know, better follow-up shots and just a more consistent shooting experience. However, toting it around a little bit different. Now, granted, in most match styles, you're not going to be toting it around very far, but still need to get me a decent sling put on this thing. But definitely stoked to have this. If you ever get a chance to try a setup like this, definitely do it. But let me run down. I'm going to get the target. We'll go meet back up on the bench. All right, so here's our final target that we was kind of dinking around with, and I have to tell you, like I mentioned before, the rifle shoots, man. So there's 4 shots basically in the same hole. I don't know which one that one was, but that, talk about shooting an X, that is right dead center of that circle, and those are about a 1/2 inch. That's about a 1/2 inch diameter, so pretty small. But that's shot using my hand loads, so we shot those first. That's this right here. So a 77 grain Sierra Match King over top of a little over 23 grains of Varget, set at 1.864 OAL. But here was that Fiocchi. That Fiocchi didn't do too bad, and I knew I pulled the crap out of that one, so that one was me. And probably even more surprising, just that bulk hand load that I do. So I throw all the powder out of a powder thrower and just set them and forget them. So honestly, that's not bad. And even hitting that 1-inch steel at 110 yards, I mean, there after I found my holdover, I mean, it was like clockwork. Basically hit it as many times as you wanted to pull the trigger. But I'm serious. The one thing to kind of take into consideration is the cost. Now, these MTD chassis, they are not cheap, guys. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I could justify the price for one. You know, whenever I reviewed this originally, full disclosure, they did give me a discount on the chassis to review for you guys. You kind of just have to work with your budget. Is it something that would, be worth the money to you? That I can't answer that. I can tell you, I don't know if I would have bought one for myself at full price for what I do. The cool thing about these Ruger American Ranches now is you can buy them to where they already accept AR mags from the factory. However, the polymer stock is the polymer stock. I mean, you're getting what you get. You're definitely getting a lot more modularity with this. You're definitely getting a lot more, I guess, interface capability with this. Now, I love how this rifle feels on my shoulder. I love how it feels on the bench, the barricade, when I'm on my shooting mat with it. I mean, it's significantly different over the factory Tupperware stock. I mean, there is absolutely no question about it. But you got to take that with a grain of salt. I can't make that decision for you guys. However, on the choice of whether or not I'm going to keep that adapter, I believe I am going to take that off. I'm just going to put the butt stock in how it goes and get rid of, because as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, if you look right here, I mean, there is a significant, so to be able to shoot that group right there with that much movement in my stock, I'm pretty impressed. That's pretty sweet. I will take that any day of the week. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. If it's some more you want to see, definitely let me know down in the comments. Definitely got some more guns that we could bring out and do some kind of philosophy talk and kind of where I'm at with them at the hide. And where I'm at with them, kind of as far as what I'm wanting them to do, how they've performed, if I'm going to change anything on them, so on and so forth. You know, stuff kind of that's been around at the hide for a while. But really look forward to hearing you guys, your thoughts on this one. But please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help the channel. As always, shoot straight. Later.